What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you one of my favorite tools. It's called ZeroWork. There's a link to get it in the description. But what's one of my favorite tools because anything that you can't automate with Zapier or Make or any of those other tools that have APIs, you can automate with ZeroWork. And today, for an example, I'm going to show you how we can create an Instagram messaging bot that loads from a spreadsheet so you can send messages to as many people as you want using your actual Instagram account with no APIs, without being detected, and it's all happening in the background. So let's get started. All right, so here's the one that I've already built. You can kind of see exactly how simple this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically rebuild this underneath so you can see how we do it, and we're going to do some tests along the way. All right, so the basic idea of how this works is we have a repeater because we're going to loop through all of your contacts or whatever's in the spreadsheet that you want to send a message to. What I recommend for this is just to have their profile URL. From there, we're going to go here. It's going to open up the Instagram page. We're going to put in the message that we want and put in any variables that we want as well. And then we're just going to hit enter to send the message. And then once it gets to the end, it's going to start back from the beginning, looping through the entire sheet. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is build out a spreadsheet so you can see what I did here. You just put in their profile URL and then the first name. Now, you can't actually use their full profile URL. Instead, what you have to do is go to that contact, click on message, copy that URL. So we could actually scrape that if we wanted to, but for the sake of simplicity, we're just gonna go ahead and have that done already. And you just wanna fill out this sheet with their URL and their first name. I'll show you what that looks like. But once it's done, you're going to connect it in here to ZeroWork and load it as an external table. So to do that, right here you open up the side panel, you can see we have tables, and you'll see that I've already imported the Google Sheet table that I want. So you can see that right here. And basically all I did was click add table. We're going to add a new table. We can select Google Sheet. And since this account is already connected to your Google account, all you have to do is put in the URL of the sheet and it'll load it in automatically. So we can click right here and go straight to it. You can also create a manual table if you wanted to. If you just wanted to have a table in here, you just build the table inside of ZeroWork and we can run it through there if you didn't want to load it externally. But for this case, for ease of maintenance in the future, we're just going to run it externally. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is you want to create a start. You want to start the loop. So we're going to go down here and click Start Repeat. And we'll choose the kind of loop that you want, dynamic. We're going to select the table, and that's it. So basically, it's going to run through the entire thing. If you wanted to build an automation that only pulled for the most recent, you can turn this on and choose where to start, but we don't want to do that. So that's step number one. Too easy. The next thing we want to do is go to Instagram. So we want to go to the link that is being pulled from the spreadsheet. So we're just going to drag this over here. Open link. The URL that we want is pulled from the table. So we just select profile URL. Boom, too easy. Connect these together. Done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is insert the text into the messenger. So let me show you how to do that. All right, so I got this window pulled over here. This is my Instagram account. I have it pulled over just so you can't see all the messages. But what you can see is, first off, the URL. This is the URL that we want to put in the sheet because we want ZeroWork to go directly to the messenger screen of this contact. So that's what we put in right here. We're going to the profile URL. Okay, once we're in there, we want to type text into this field. Now, Instagram makes it easy for us because once you load this screen, the typing field is already selected. So we don't have to click into it to start typing. We can just start typing. So over here, we have insert text or data, and you can see what that looks like. So we're going to find that. So we're going to find this, insert text or data. We're going to put in the message that we want. We're just going to say hello, and then we're going to put in their name. We don't have to fill in this selector field again because it's already selected for us. We click save. We connect it here. All right, and the last thing to do in order to send the message, there's two options. Once you start typing, this send shows up, so we can have ZeroWork click send. But again, IG makes it easy for us. All we have to do is press enter. So the last thing we're going to do is use a keyboard action. We're going to use the enter key, save it, connect them together, and that's the entire thing, A to Z. It will loop through everything in the sheet and send them the message with personalization. So I'm going to go ahead and delete what we've done here. Move this down, and we're going to run a test. Now, something very important that I did not mention at the beginning, but is very important, is if you run this without logging into Instagram, obviously it's not going to work. So in order to have this script be able to log in as yourself, you need to save the cookie. So let me show you how that works. So in your browser and Instagram, you want to install this extension called EditThisCookie. And all you do is once you're logged into Instagram, you're going to click on this and you're going to click export. Once you do that, it's going to save your login information essentially to your clipboard. You're going to come back to ZeroWork and you're going to paste it right here under cookies. And what this is going to do is when the browser opens to run your automation, it's going to load in the cookie, essentially already logging you in. The rest of these settings look good. We want it to run in incognito. We want it to load this cookie. What I do for testing is I click stay on page after run so we can see everything that happens. Otherwise, once it's done, it'll close out the window. Once it's fully tested and it's good to go, you can turn on run in background and you won't even see the browser pop up while it's doing the automation. But for now, these are the settings. We pasted the cookie. Now we're good to go. What I do recommend is closing out Instagram before you run this, because you do want to only have one browser window open with your Instagram account at a time, just to help prevent it from being flagged. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out right now. Okay, so I'm going to push play. It's going to open up a browser window on my other screen, so I'm going to drag it over really quick so we can watch it work. Okay, you can see it kind of messed up here. That's because I was dragging the window trying to get it to where you can see it. But you can see my other tests as well. They all went through. But that's essentially it. We're going to close out the window. We're done. We can see it worked. Good to go. Save. Now, if you wanted, you can take this a step further. You can use a webhook to trigger this. Let's say you have a webinar coming up, or you have some type of email or blog post or whatever that goes out. You can create a webhook that will trigger this and send that notification to everyone in Instagram. You can also create variables inside of here. For example, if you had a new blog URL, then you can go and create that variable. You could change it before you run it. And then when you go to type in the text, you can say check out, insert that variable, and it works that simply. And then you can go back and change that variable before it sends out to everyone. You can do this a million different ways, but hopefully this provides a good overview of not only how to do this exact automation, but also the power of ZeroWork. If you love automating systems in your business, automating processes, and growing an efficient agency, then check the links in the description as well. We have a free group where you can come in and you can talk about these types of things. Also have a private group where we cover this stuff in more detail. So if any of those things are up your alley, check the description and I'll see you there.